Good morning. It's about 9:28 on Monday morning, 2 days after the Hope for Life Christian concert for the homeless. It was really an incredible event. It was 3 hours of nonstop music, probably 40 songs we did. And then St. Charles Christian Church played for about 45 minutes to an hour before that, so it was nonstop music for a great cause. It looks like we made about $1,500 cash. That's not counting the QR codes, donations, and the online donations. If you feel so compelled, you can still donate to MCW Hope for Life on Facebook. They have their websites available on there, and I think they have a donate button, and you can donate monthly and cancel at any time. You can donate one time, but you can see all the things they do. They started out just as a homeless kind of thing, helping out the homeless of St. Louis, giving out clothes and gloves and socks and food and just all kinds of stuff for the homeless, and then it grew to counseling for kids and that are thinking about suicide and drug problems and different peer pressure problems and bullying. I mean, it does a whole lot more than just homeless now, but it was really a great success. We were worried about the weather, and it was a little bit warm, but then it cooled off. It was supposed to rain, and the rain held off, and it couldn't have been a better August night as far as the weather went. The only problem we had was a few mosquitoes, but that was nothing. I joked about it when we were up there. I said, these mosquitoes are getting a little bit brutal up here, but they land on us, they do their thing, and they leave us singing "Awesome God." So I thought that was a great way to deal with it. So, but they didn't really distract too much. So, but we did a lot of really cool things. My cousin passed away a couple weeks before this concert, and I was able to do a little memorial thing for him, as far as like doing I Can Only Imagine, dedicating it to him and to anybody else that passed away. I offered up the chorus of that song while we were coming up to the chorus musically. I asked everybody, I suggested that people think of somebody that passed away in their life, or a couple people, or a few people, or a group of people that they wanted to include, and sing the chorus in honor of them. So that was kind of a really highlight of the night for me. Beetle Bob, who is I related to my sister's husband, and I knew him in passing, but I've talked to him a few times, and what a cool guy he is. I threw in a Beatles song, "Let It Be," and kind of a memorandum to him, and it turned out really nice, and I was able to pay my respects to him through that, and so that was really a touching moment for me in the concert. There were a number of really kind of cool segments in the concert. It was just nothing but Christian music. I think we threw in Hotel California at the end just because, and that was kind of cool, because Eric Stanbro plays the lead guitar and all this stuff, and he just shredded that whole solo at the end, and I've heard him do it before, so I thought it would be a great way to highlight him. I tried to highlight everybody that was in the group at one time or another. My wife did a phenomenal job singing. Kim Warger did a great job singing harmonies and taking the lead on it as well. Brian Kazmarzik and Eric Stanbro, two stellar players. You won't find anybody in St. Louis better than those two. Brian on the piano, but he plays the steel slide guitar, the bass guitar. He plays regular guitar. I think with Brian, you could probably stick 2 poles in the ground and link a shoelace between the two, and he could probably play that too. It's just Eric's the same way. Eric, you just tell him what key you're in, and that's all he needs to know. And he sang a few songs that he can sing too. Steve Prusik, I've been playing with him for 40 some odd years, and 40 plus years, probably closer to 45 years than 40. I mean, we've been since high school. We've been playing, and he knows. We joke about being so tight musically that if I make a mistake, he makes the same mistake. If he makes a mistake, I make the same mistake. So we did a recording one time years ago, a Christmas CD thing, and we did one with me singing the leads and one with him singing the leads, and it was a riot because I laid down all my lead stuff, and his son pointed out, which I thought was really cool. He pointed out that we played those two tracks played them simultaneously, and they matched up almost perfectly. That's how close, how much we influence each other when it comes to phrasing and all that stuff in music. So it was really cool. Kevin Camp on the drums did a phenomenal job as usual. I joke with him about being a musician, not just a drummer, and it's no slight to drummers, but I just tease him about that. Brent on the bass, solid as a rock. Him and Kevin laid down. Kevin and Brent laid down without a good percussion between the bass and the drums. And anybody can tell you the drummer and the bass player, the drummer gets a little bit more kudos than the bass player. But if you have a bad bass player, you have a bad band. So I thank Brent for being solid and holding down the bass. They call it a bass because that's what it is. Everything's built off that bass line, and the solid. They build the bass line for everything. So, and he did a phenomenal job with that. Brett played acoustic guitar, and I think I said at the concert, I rely on him a lot because he allows me to not have to be so precise and strong. When I'm talking or when I'm doing something else, he's playing, and he allows me to be freed up to concentrate more on the singing than the playing. So it was a really nice night. Tim, I can't remember his last name now. The sound guy did a really good job. I mean, he was thorough, and he made sure everybody, through the night he adjusted stuff, which is the way you do things in the sound world. And it was really, really a super, super nice event. I have to say there was, it was 99% incredible. The 1% is the person that kind of runs that show at Newtown. Every year I have a problem with that person. They try to rain on the parade, and this year was no different. I was at the end of the night, I thanked this person when at the end, during the concert, I thanked the person. I told the person, I by name thanked him and said, they did a phenomenal job, and thanked them for allowing us to do it at Newtown. I did, gave him the thumbs up, and at the night that person was, when we were packing up, was standing there, and I said, I thanked that person again, and I'm not saying the name because I on purpose, but I thanked that person again, and the person gave me this scowl look, which is notorious for this person, and I said, okay, I said, is there a problem? And she said, yes, there is a problem. I've texted you, and I will, and we'll talk tomorrow. So, I was talking to Brian Kazmarzik, and I told him, and he goes, "Hey, don't let that bother you. Don't let, it was a great night. Don't let that person get to you." And so, I read the text, and the text was pretty, this is what it said. It said, this thing was supposed to start at 7, not 5. Well, I mean, okay, every year we've done it, we've started at 5. So, but what I decided to do, and the way, and kind of the message of this podcast is what I did with that, I let it go. I let it go. I blocked that person on my phone so they can't call me or text me. I unfriended that person on Facebook so they can't comment on anything, any of my posts. They can message me on Facebook, but they cannot contact me, or they cannot post off my post. And because now the practice that I use in my life is I eliminate negativity from my life. If it serves no purpose, and it's not constructive criticism, because I will take constructive criticism, but I will not take disrespect. There's a big difference between the two. And so with that person, I just decided, hey, you know what? I'm going to block them. They won't be able to call me. They won't be able to text me. They won't be able to, post on my post. They'll be able to message me. They do have a way to get to me if they want. But if they message me respectfully, then I'll talk to them. But I'm not going to. I just don't put up with disrespect from anybody, and I eliminate them because it serves no purpose. And I just decided that my life is worth more than that to me. My happiness and my joy is worth more than that to me. So, but it was a phenomenal night, except that one thing. Everything else came through like I expected it to. I prayed for good weather. I prayed for a good outcome. I prayed for making some money, and like I said, it's about $1,500. I think cash wise. I don't have the total yet, but it was a great night. It was a great night, and it was a great cause, and everything turned out great. And in life, that Satan's going to rear his ugly head in some way, shape, or form. It's just the way it is. Everybody in the Bible had to face some of Satan's traps. Every single one of them. Even Jesus, when he was in the desert, he had to face, Satan trying to deceive him. But so everybody faces it. And mine was just in the form of somebody, they're getting all upset over a starting time, which we wanted. The sound guy said he was going to get there at 4:00. So he got there at 4:30. Now, mind you, I've texted this person Monday and asked him questions and said, I have some things I want to run by you. And that person did not text me back till Sunday at 6:15, and we started at 7. So some people have to realize that they need to reevaluate how they do their jobs, and maybe that might be part of the problem. So, because the sound guy also told me that he goes, I just wish I would have known you had another group. I said I texted her on Monday to get. I texted her on Monday, and then I texted her a week before that, trying to get that guy's number so I could talk to him. And he said, yeah, that person is notorious for not communicating. And in the 5 years I've done this, I think the first year I had Richard Kinnison was the guy in charge, and he was phenomenal. I'd text him, and he would call me back within 5 minutes, or text me back within 5 minutes, and we had everything set up, and everything was ready to go, and there was nothing. With this person, you don't get messages back, and that's from everybody that I know that knows this person. So anyway, I know I'm ranting a little bit because it did bother me, but wicked, evil people do bother me. So. But I don't let them control me. So the night was great. Thank you all so much. If you were there, thank you very much. If you weren't there, there's still time. You can go to MCW Hope for Life on Facebook, MCW Hope for Life on the internet, and it'll kick up the website, and you can make a one-time donation to help out people that are less fortunate than you. And believe me, I am walking proof that when you do that, when you help other people, it comes back to you full circle in some way, shape, or form. I'm not saying like these prosperity thump teacher people. I'm not saying, oh, give them $1,000 and you'll get 10,000 back. Not so. You give them $5, or you give them $1, or you give them $100, and it will come back to you in some way, shape, or form. It will come back to you. I guarantee you, it will come back to you. So on that note, thank you for listening. It's about 15 minutes. I'll keep these 15 minutes. Eric's going to join me probably this week. We're going to do a bunch of them because the original idea was for him and I to do these and have different people on. I want to get Brian Kazmarzik on here. I want to get the guy I play with, Steve Prusik, on here. I want to get different people on here. I'm going to make it so that people can request to have different people on here. Or if they know somebody that wants to be on, we don't want to open it up for everybody. So anyway, God bless you all. Thank you for coming. If you went, if you didn't, there's still time to help out. And that's about it. You can look me up on Facebook, Larry Gerst. Send me a message, and so I know you're not a hacker, and then I'll let you in. Take care. God bless you all. Thank you so much.